I'd like to introduce Bloq. We've been quietly building in the wings for a couple years, and we're about to announce several new projects at Consensus. We're going to be talking about one which brings a large number of people from outside the space into blockchain, as well as making the blockchain development experience far, far easier. But first, let's take a look at what is Bloq. A lot of people, every single person in this room has Bloq on their lanyard, but few people actually know what is Bloq. So we'd like to believe and we'd like to make the claim that we are helping to pave that pathway to the decentralized future. There are two business units at Bloq, two sides of the house. One side of the house is Bloq Labs, and this is where we innovate, build new tokenized networks, new markets, new companies, and we bring those to market, we spin those out, and they live on their own. That's Bloq Labs. If anyone remembers Xerox PARC or Bell Labs from 20, 30 years ago, they invented the graphical user interface, they invented a lot of telephony technology, et cetera, et cetera. They spun that out. That's our Bloq Labs model. We're taking that model and bringing it to Bitcoin and blockchain, tokenized networks, and tokenized applications. The other side of the house, which we've been quietly working on with Fortune 50 companies, these are the largest of the Fortune 500 companies, is Bloq Enterprise. And so, as you might imagine, these customers move much more slowly, but they have a lot more risks to adjust for. They can't just download something like Bitcoin Core or Ethereum Geth off of GitHub and directly use it. They have to risk adjust. They have to say, what are the IP legal patent guarantees? It's open source. Okay, how do we staff this, support it? What happens if a 0-day hack comes down across the network? How do we respond to that? What is our enterprise process for responding to 0 days? So Bloq on the Bloq Enterprise side helps enterprises connect their legacy networks, their plumbing, their infrastructure to public blockchain networks. So part of Bloq Enterprise, which I'm going to talk about right now, is how do we bring developers to blockchain, to public networks? And no doubt that you're familiar with Google Cloud, AWS, Microsoft Azure, et cetera. Well, what's the blockchain version of that? And that is what we're going to be launching next month in late June, Bloq Cloud. This is ultimately for developers that y'all will know what I mean when I say it's a bit like the Twilio of blockchain. This is a website that nobody outside of developers has heard of, but it's a multi-billion-dollar company that targeted developers with one simple problem and solution. Before Twilio, if you wanted to program an application that talked to a mobile phone, it was incredibly difficult. You had to program for T-Mobile, program for Verizon, program for AT&T. There wasn't a one-stop shop for mobile. And then Twilio came along. They said, just give us $29.95 a month plus pay as you go, and we will connect you to every mobile network. We will give you a voice line. We will let your applications do SMS. And not only did this enable many, many new applications, this enabled new businesses. One of the interesting company culture items at Twilio is every Friday, and with every new interviewee, they ask you, conceive of an application and build it as your entrance exam, as your interview exam. And that's the kind of experience, the kind of ease experience that we want to bring to blockchain with Bloq Cloud. So what is Bloq Cloud? It is a set of 5 services. Number 1 is Insight. This is a edge-cached, hyperscaled query API for a number of blockchains. So if you need to query account balances, blocks, transactions, all of the standard Bloq Explorer type data analytics, data metrics that comes directly from a blockchain, that's Insight. You don't have to run a full node. You don't have to, as if you want the DIY approach, spin up a cluster of nodes all across the world. You just hit a REST API and get that blockchain network information. This is public blockchains, public networks, and real-time data. Next, nodes as a service. Similar to if you're familiar with a block daemon or something like that. This is, you can spin up a virtual machine for any number of blockchain networks. Currently, we support 5, but we will be quickly expanding to at least 30 different blockchain networks, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. One click, and you spin up a node that is instantly synced. Now, if you're highly technical, you're dealing with Ethereum especially, you probably know that it takes 2 weeks, 2 wall calendar weeks, to sync an Ethereum full node from scratch. If you have a hard drive, rotational storage, that number goes from 2 weeks to never. And we have figured out how to optimize and snapshot the synchronized data for each of these full nodes so that you spin up in minutes. We call that the quick sync feature. So we have nodes as a service, and that will be for any validator type network, node type network. Obviously, we have our roots in Bitcoin and Ethereum, so those are first out of the gate, but we also support some of the competitors like Etsy or Bitcoin Cash, etc. The goal is wide support across a number of blockchains. We're also adding proof support to Bloq Cloud. This is secondary chains, side chains, time-stamping data into the Bitcoin blockchain, the Ethereum blockchain, and yes, next year, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the Chicago Tribune, actual print media will have hashes in it, just like today. So that is the proof service. Compute. One of the current trends in development is serverless compute. This is led by Docker, but Google Cloud Functions, Amazon Lambda, Azure, they're all chasing this, but what they're missing is that all of the big cloud offerings, that's their own data centers, their own services, their own capital expenses. What we realized is what we call the Alibaba model. The Alibaba model from China is don't have a massive inventory on your balance sheet. Don't buy a bunch of computers. Don't buy a bunch of data centers. What we do is we connect to blockchain networks that provide compute and storage, and we actually deal with all the tokens that float on the free market to get you a specific compute level, whether you need 1,000 nodes processing some video to re-render, or you need to process 4 terabytes of data off-chain and then put an on-chain proof. Compute is a cloud service that enables you to do the most expansive and compute expensive smart contracts, as well as just generic serverless compute that doesn't connect back to a blockchain. And this is all powered on the back end by the blockchain. I know that's a bit circular, but again, we like any service that has a back end into public peer-to-peer decentralized blockchain networks. We feel that that's going to be far superior to the centralized own all these computers data model. And then finally, similarly, there's a storage service. It's compatible with the S3 API if you're a developer and familiar with that. And the cloud storage service, again, this is a low friction, very easy to use API for developers. You pay with your favorite cryptocurrency, pay with Lightning, pay with credit card, and you get storage. Again, what does that Alibaba model mean in terms of blockchain? Well, when you ask for data storage through Bloq Cloud, we reach out to Siacoin, Filecoin, Storage, these decentralized blockchain storage networks. They power and provide storage for Bloq Cloud. And so not only are we making it easier to engage in these networks, you can just swipe a credit card and get data storage. We're making it easier for these projects to bring their products to market. Siacoin, we're probably going to be Siacoin's first best customer. We're probably going to be Storage's first best customer. Because again, we don't want to own millions of hard drives. We want to connect the world to these decentralized blockchain networks. So we provide infrastructure. Bloq Cloud has an app builder focus. It's very rapid deployment, and like other cloud services, you get pay-as-you-go style billing. The waitlist is open right now. If you're a developer, you can go to docs.bloq.cloud and examine our first two APIs, Insight and Nodes, and sign up for our closed beta. You'll probably be added within hours, if not days, up on bloq.cloud. So it's live now in closed beta. We're going to have a public launch in late June with the initial 5 services, and then we're going to grow from there. Part of the strategy, just to wrap up on Bloq Cloud, is it's not about what services we offer so much as what blockchains we support. And the ultimate goal is all of them. So as mentioned, there are 2 sides of the house at Bloq. One of those is Bloq Enterprise, where we build enterprise scalable solutions. The other side of the house is Bloq Labs, where we build tokenized networks. We build, we launch tokens such as Metronome. You might have heard Ryan in his previous presentation mention Metronome. Metronome is a built-to-last digital currency that takes the lessons of all of the past 10 years and says, how do we engineer around this risk, that risk, that risk? That's Metronome, and that's an example of a Bloq Labs production. Another Bloq Labs production that you can come to the Clinton room, the Bloq room, to hear more about is Vesper. One of the coming pain points is that you'll have a large number of tokens and therefore a large management issue when you have multiple tokens floating on the free market. Some of them are associated with utilities, some of them are associated with securities, etc. How do you rebalance those? How do you optimize across a number of utility token metrics? Say in the cloud space, it's storage performance, storage throughput, storage latency, compute time, compute RAM. All of these are metrics that Vesper applies AI to help you manage your token experience. But, and last but certainly not least, is we come out of the Bitcoin community. I was a Bitcoin developer for many years with Satoshi and Gavin in the early days. And obviously, with Bitcoin comes proof of work and proof of work mining. And I wrote the first external CPU miner. I was a miner through the GPU mining days. After that, I had the first ASIC miner in 2013, January 2013, that was shipped to the US from China, an Avalon miner. And so a lot of mining DNA, and we were fortunate enough to be able to hire another old school mining community personage, Ryan Condron. And I'm going to invite him up to the stage to talk about our proof of work project, Titan Mining.
All right. Hey, guys. Let's talk mining. I've been mining since 2012, and in 2012, this is all I knew about mining, is there's this thing called Bitcoin. My buddy Kyle came to me, best friend in the world now, in 2012 and said, hey Ryan, there's this really cool thing called Bitcoin. It's $12 a coin. Can you believe it? I'll pay you $12 if you mine one of these things. I'm like, no, okay, it's gotta be a scam. There's no way, right? So we started looking into it, and we started building GPU rigs, started looking into ASICs, and this is all I really thought mining was, is you get a really cool looking computer, you add a little bit of magic dust, and you make money. Has anyone actually tried mining here? Has a couple? All right, so you guys understand there's this cryptographic thing going on where you're trying to get into it, you're trying to understand it. It's not easy. I started looking into it a little bit more. I found another coin, Litecoin. We started focusing on Litecoin pretty heavy in 2012, and then there were more coins. Feathercoin, PP coin, now known as Purecoin, Namecoin, Devcoin, and then something happened in 2013. It exploded. People started forking the repository, more and more coins started popping up, and before long, we had all these different profitability calcs that we were trying to do, figuring out what to mine, when to mine it. So in 2012, actually 2013, we launched a site called CoinWars. CoinWars was all about what to mine and when to mine it. We were doing the profitability calcs, we would take in the electricity costs, and we knew exactly what was the best coin to mine at any given moment. We quickly realized that there just were not any good mining pools with a lot of these fringe altcoins. So we launched Pool Wars in late 2013. We ran 80 different mining pools. We wrote a lot of the original profitability switchers around Pool Wars. In 2014, we realized a lot of people didn't like hosting their own hardware. So we wrote one of the original cloud mining platforms called GigaScript. So what did I learn through all of this? Mining is not easy, and some of you guys raised your hands. You guys tried mining. You realize that mining is not easy. There's anxiety involved. It's very time-consuming. You don't know if you're going to ever ROI on your equipment, if your equipment's even online, if you're doing it correctly. Mining should be easy. It needs to be automated, plug and play, clean UI, UX. Definitely no wizards or magic involved. So this is where Titan comes in. We're taking all of our experience and all the software that we've written over the years for our own mining facilities, and we're putting it into one package. It's going to be beautiful, good UI, easy to understand design, and I'll be showing you more of that in a second. But what does Titan actually look like? It's literally just a piece of software. You run Titan on your local machine. We scan your local machine and we scan your entire network, with your permission, of course, and we onboard and fingerprint every device that we find. This is all automatic. So all you've done is install the software. We literally take care of the rest. Your hashing power is then routed through the servers. All the profitability calcs are done, and you hit the most profitable pool at any given moment. So now all you've had to do is install the software. We've turned your network into a plug-and-play environment. We onboard all your devices, we configure them, we secure them, and then we route the software, or I'm sorry, we route the hashing power. So the agent, it discovers, it secures, it configures, it optimizes, and it monitors. The servers do all the device tuning, the profitability calculations, the stats, the reporting, and it ties into the marketplace, and I'll touch on that in a second. And then the pools, we are negotiating with several different pool partners in lower fees, where we can have stable, safe pools with audited payouts. But let's go back to the marketplace real fast, because this is really where it happens. As a hash power generator, that's really what mining is we're taking electricity and we're creating hash power. That is our product. We sell our hash power to the highest bidder, whether it be a pool or an individual that's willing to pay more for it. This is where the Titan marketplace comes in. Because now that you have your hashing power in the Titan ecosystem, you can take a portion of that hashing power and you can put it online in the Titan marketplace, and it can go to the highest bidder. So if you have a lot of different miners, we can take one of those miners and we can divide it up into hashing contracts. And now you, as a farm or a hashing provider, can sell a portion of your contracts through the marketplace, and you can get liquidity now. And this is all done automatically with the Titan software. So where's our roadmap? May 2019, we're currently running private betas. In June, We're going to be doing some more installs from our beta sign-up list. We're going to be opening up to the public in July, and then Q3, we're going to be launching the marketplace. My name is Ryan Condron. I'm CEO of Titan Industries. Visit us at titan.io, blog.titan.io for the latest, and then I'm going to show you guys a quick demo as soon as we get it online. There we go. Cool. All right, so I don't have it down here, so I'm going to be looking up here. So just a general overview of all your devices, a couple stats along the top. We're going to go ahead and go to the Manage Devices section to kind of show you what it looks like managing some devices. Now, along the side here are the agents. So those are actually installs of the software. They can be anywhere in the world. So actually, one of the installs is downstairs right now in our demo room. So you can actually come and see we have a Z9 Mini online being managed live. The other installs are actually in Southern California. So we can click anywhere in the world, and we can see all of our devices, and we can control all of our devices. So right now, you can see kind of what the optimization is. It's actually kind of hot over in Southern California right now, so we aren't overclocking too much. But you can see actually the step up in the frequency. There we go. You can actually see the step up in the frequency as we upclock or downclock based on the chip temperatures. So that's the optimization of Titan. We're trying to push as much as we can out of the machines within a safe margin on the chip temperatures. So we're constantly monitoring the machines. We're constantly getting the most as we can out of them, and we're constantly pulling in all the stats. It's all in real time. So we can go ahead and sort through our devices a little bit. We can see all the new devices online. We can do bulk actions. We're doing some sorting. Click over to the list view real fast so we can kind of see a high level of our devices online here. So we can do bulk actions. We can select a bunch of them. We can manage them. We can see all sorts of stuff. I apologize here. I'm having trouble looking. What's really cool, though, I'm going to just point out one more thing in the time that I have. Go ahead and go into one of the details, and let's show them the credentials. So here's the interesting thing. As you're running these devices, and a lot of farms are actually running devices, a lot of times they actually don't go in and change the default credentials. So anyone that actually has access to your network can actually go in and hijack some of your machines. What Titan does is every single time we bring on a new machine, and we take control of that machine, we're actually setting up a brand new password on each and every machine, and it's actually unique to that machine. So unless they have actually access to your Titan interface, they're not going to be able to go in and hijack your machines. If the moment they go in and they reset a machine and try to do a factory reset and then get control of one of the machines, the Titan agent will notify you and let you know that the machine is offline and exactly what machine it happened on. So we're providing security also on a granular level. So once again, optimization and security, all automatic. So that's all I got for you guys. I believe we're doing questions. All right.
Working yet? There it is. All right, thank y'all for coming up. I guess, great job, guys. Jeff, we'll start with you. I mean, you made the reference to Twilio of how every Friday they talk about build something on their stack. From what y'all are working on at the Bloq, what are you hoping people will build on top of that? What are the businesses you're seeing today and you see in the future being built on the infrastructure you're already building?
I'll tell you in just a minute.
Fine.
Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that anyone who's building a blockchain application, right now you have a very small set of sites that you can go to. Say if I'm building on Ethereum, I'm going to go to Infura for their API. I'm building on Bitcoin, I'm going to go to blockchain.info, and that's pretty much it. And there's not a one-stop shop for, well, if I'm building on Bitcoin, Ethereum, BCH, Cardano, and 5 other networks, there's just not a one-stop shop. There's not even a place you can go for even half those. And so this is going to be the one-stop shop for all those blockchain networks that exist today and in the future. So that's really the biggest point that Twilio brought from mobile to today was you don't have to go to T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T to get T-Mobile SMS, AT&T SMS, et cetera.
And so, I mean, in the near term, do you see, other than just people building on top of them, is there specific applications that you envision?
It's right now we're talking to researchers who want to do queries on the blockchain network. Another big use case is mobile wallets. So if the Exodus wallet, similar wallets, they don't want to depend on, well, I need to run this full node. They need to have some connectivity into a live blockchain network. And so a mobile wallet is one of the key use cases for this. Is as soon as we roll out a blockchain network, that mobile wallet can add new support on their side for blockchain networks as well. So enabling wallets, enabling exchanges, enabling trading, enabling just in general any blockchain application, this is your Lego block that you want to build on top of.
And switching gears a little bit, you mentioned it briefly, but Metronome, what's the latest there? What's going on? What are the kind of latest and greatest with what's going on in the Metronome blockchain and that platform as well?
Yeah, that's really exciting. We launched Metronome last year as the currency to take all of the lessons learned of the past 10 years and bake it into one built-to-last currency. It's the only currency, as far as we're aware, that can survive the death of a blockchain, which is pretty unique. And what we're doing and what's part of the key promise in Metronome is that we're about to release the first, what we call chain hop. Okay. So Metronome was designed, and the reason why it's the currency that can survive is that you can move it from one chain to another without having to go through an exchange, without having to do an atomic swap. And for the people who, probably a lot of us just went through our taxes. If you go from Bitcoin to Litecoin, you are selling Bitcoin. That's a tax event that you accrue taxes on, and then buying Litecoin. In contrast, when you move Metronome, you're picking up the same tokens and you're putting it down on a different blockchain. You did not have a tax event. You did not swap. You did not sell. And so it's just like picking up a gold bar from one warehouse and shipping it over to another warehouse. The blockchain serves as a security rail for Metronome. And it's for that reason that we're releasing a chain hop for, you can move your Met from ETH chain to the ETC chain. And that's what we're going to be releasing in the next couple months. And then after that, you can hop to Quantum, eventually EOS, and some of these more advanced chains.
What are you seeing the use cases of Metronome today? What are people using it for today?
It's really in the forms of payment, store of value, money category pretty firmly. It's not a utility token. It's not a security, so it doesn't, unlock a treasure chest of like data storage or something. Yeah. It's all about a currency that if you follow the currency all through crypto winter, all the cryptos went down, but due to Metronome's unique design, I don't know if this is a bragging point or not, but it went down less. And that was by design.
That's fair. All right, we're over time, so I want to ask one more question about Titan. When you look at Titan, it kind of bridges consumer and professional miners. Who is your target market? Who are you really trying to target with that? Is it people with large farms, people with a couple of amp miners, people just mining on their computer at home? What are you really aiming to solve?
Yeah, so to start, we're focusing on enterprise. Yep. So the idea is if you try to mine with one device, it's hard. If you try to mine with 20,000 devices, it's 20,000 times harder. So at scale, Titan shines. We can onboard a farm of 20,000 devices in under 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's automated and it just works. Yeah. So we're starting big. A consumer can take our same enterprise software, load it on their laptop at home, and it will work just as good for one laptop. So starting big, and then we'll back into consumer level.
Perfect. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you all for coming on stage. I appreciate it.